Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, welcome back, Wi-Fi. So let me go ahead and just start by apologizing. I apologize as the wireless woman on behalf of being late, super late. I was on a date, but it was a date with my daughter because y'all know that I have gone back into the world of boycott for 2023. Some of you who have been wireless woman subscribers for a while know that I was on a boycott for 2022, and it's looking like same energy this year. But I'm so happy for anyone who was able to stick around and join me, because we are now alive after 5, if you will. Today I do have a guest that's going to be joining us. It is going to be my close friends, my own blood family, Quentin and Tamecia the Dies. And we're going to be talking all today about generational wealth, real estate. That's really their bag that they're in. And during this live and unscripted podcast, I will be discussing several things that I feel like is just poignant for the body right now. We really need to be making sure in our culture, in the climate, the economic climate of our season right now, that we are prepared for just about anything. Financially speaking, y'all know that I work in the financial industry, and baby, what they got planned for us would shock the holy mind, if you will. So let's see. I'm going to be getting into some content. I am still waiting on this. So we will be discussing some things. So I have started my, what would you call this? I have started my financial literacy piece, which I have to be really careful about how much of that I can go into because of antitrust. But we really, as Black women, as Black people, really need to begin to be super savvy about how we're planning for our financial futures. The net worth of Black people is -$5. We're 238% behind in the wealth gap. And so it's very important for us to, at this pivotal time, if we're not going to slip back into being a slave labor class, okay? We've always been the proletariat in this country. We've always been labor class, but it's very important for us to be aware of the devices. There are so often that people think because something happened in the past, that it can't happen again. But as a social scientist, as a sociologist, I can tell you that we really move in cycles over and over and over again, no matter what country it is, no matter where, no matter when in time. What has been planned for us in the past can happen again. So I do have my guests coming in. Let's see here. But as we have people coming in to join the line live, you already know, as you come in, make sure that you like this live. Make sure that you're sharing it, because like I said, we are going to be having a very detailed discussion about what it means to really take where we are right now as Black people and move that license forward. Move all of the benefits that we currently have right now under the system. I know it may not seem like it, because baby, even in my own mind, sometimes I'm like, but we do have a lot of opportunity here for us to make the most out of where we are. So let me go ahead and get my stuff up and going. Y'all know how it is when I'm on the live. It's like really organized this time too. Like I did a lot of work to bring this interview to you and be as professional as I know how to be. But it's still always a work in progress because I was supposed to be live on Friday and forgot clean about it. I was doing homework. I was living my best life. So, but today I am actually here. I'm late, but I'm here. So for those of you that are joining and that are coming in, go ahead and put it in the chat and make sure that I know that I'm being heard. I don't know if y'all can hear me. Somebody give me a thumbs up and let me know that I'm being heard. But in the interim, I am going to be able to introduce you now to the two owners. I don't know. I get triggered by that word owner now, but they own a business, not like other people. But the two owners of the Real Estate Mob, they also have a home buying company that is called this is new. This is a new program for them, the Honeycomb Home Buyers Program. So I'm going to show you a little bit of content on what it is exactly that they do, and then I'll bring them in. Let's see here. Boop, 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 boop. Y'all know I'm still learning how to work share. So I'm not going to share this screen, but I will share this video. I did a good job, y'all. I made sure I had all my videos together. Okay, let's go.
I definitely remember first buying this property for $23,000. I needed a lot of work to be done before it can get to the stage of applying the sheetrock. First, since it was a cinder block home, we had to go in and create separation from the cement to run the electrical. So we built out the walls and put some foam insulation boards up to keep it warm and cool in different seasons. And after that, we actually got ready and got everything prepped to get all of our walls off. The process doesn't really take long. Once you get to this piece is going downhill from here. It's always rough rides along the way, but they're always worth it once you start to see it come together.
All right, so I am welcoming to the stream my good people, my good folks. Look, let me get y'all all in the frame. There we go. There we go. There we go. Welcome, my real estate masters to the wireless woman. Welcome to room 303, y'all.
Hey.
Listen, y'all know we was doing black business today because everybody was late.
Right. No, really.
Everybody was late. But you know what? I respect the hustle because we was booked and busy, but now we're here. You know, we started from the bottom.
We here.
But now we are here. So welcome. This is Quentin and Tamecia, the diehard crew. Look, y'all remember back in them 2000s, the 20, them young that diehard entertainment. But I just want to welcome you both and give y'all the opportunity to introduce yourselves in room 303.
I'll let you start.
All right. I'm Quentin. I'm Q. I'm in 303.
I'm Tamecia. Super happy to be here.
Well, we are super, super happy to have you. So, you know, here at room 303, we try not to jump into the deep end. We're going to put our toe in first, and I'm going to ask you all a series of icebreaker questions. A little bit of softball, a little bit of soft pitches to you. So, how old are you both?
I'm 33.
Do I say it like
No, you gotta say your age now.
I'm 32.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Like, you stop playing. You're going to be 33 in like 44 more hours.
And
You
48 business
said
hours.
you said how old are you, not how old you're going to be next or when.
Listen,
Currently,
listen.
we don't want to see
Go
old
ahead and
child.
embrace it.
I'm gonna take all my hours, all my days, all my seconds to be 32. So I'm 32.
Listen. This is an ongoing discussion for our watching public that don't know, because I've been trying to work with Quentin so that he could. So I've been telling him to just stick in there, and eventually his hair will be as long as mine. You know what I'm saying? It's
Show the length. You can't go
we are. Anyway, listen, this is irrelevant at this point
not you
because it's like I said. I know you're not ready to compare just yet. I'm gonna give
Not
you a
yet, no
couple.
rulers.
What I'm saying? I'm giving you a couple years to get in the game and everything. I'll show you the game, Ghost. Okay, I'll show
No, that's
That'll
fine.
work.
you. All right. So, what is your favorite color to paint a room?
Yeah. Um, I would say white. Yeah, I would paint the room white. I really would. I think a year ago I would have said something like turquoise or something to make it vibrant, but now I'm feeling like if I paint the room white, I can add the color depending on how I'm feeling. So I'd rather have a blank canvas to start.
Okay, I
Yeah.
did not expect that. I just
Yeah.
knew you was gonna be like cerulean.
I would like to paint it
I
ocean
was,
blue.
I was
No.
waiting for you to be like periwinkle.
Yeah.
Okay, so last soft pitch, because after this I'm
I
coming in hot.
know. I'm trying to get the nerves out. I don't know why I'm nervous.
You know what's so funny? And I'm gonna do what I can to really break the ice with y'all, because it's not like we don't know each other personally.
I know.
It's not like I didn't do your hair when you was 10,
Right.
but it is so often that I bring people on here and I'm like, who are you now?
No, yeah.
Because we never show up the way we like expect to.
Right. That's true.
So I'm gonna do my best. That's why I said we're gonna start off breaking some ice,
Okay.
asking you some questions that give you some okay, a little bit of
Okay.
room.
I'm trying to go.
Look.
Look, we know you ready to go. We know
I'm
you
trying to go.
locked in. We know you locked in and you loaded. Okay,
Maybe
so the
next year
last
share this
question
before
is
we started.
what is your life motto or either a great piece of advice that has like led you to where you are now in life?
Oh, I would run with keep pushing.
just keep pounding.
Man, keep pushing.
Why? Why would you say that?
You just gotta keep pushing. Stuff gonna always happen in life, and you just gotta. They what they say, this too shall pass. So
Yeah.
just keep pushing. So
Yeah. My life motto, if I could like sum up what I want on my tombstone, right? And it's not like pepperoni and cheese. I would have to say my life verse comes from the book of Kanye. Okay.
all right.
And my life verse is, as soon as they like you, make them unlike you. Because kissing people's ass is so unlike you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've just decided I'm going to be the Dark Knight for the rest of my life. But welcome you to, I'm so glad to have you. I want everyone who is watching this live now and will tune back in, because let's be honest, we was late.
Right.
To know that I brought you on because I feel like the two of you are an archetype, an anti-archetype almost, of what we're seeing in the community right now. You're both business owners who are doing business as a couple, as a family, and I think it's so important for people to really see real life examples of what's going on, because we know a lot of people getting on this internet and they capping. So so as a person who has seen y'all get it out the mud, I feel like other people who may not have the interactions with people who are doing this need to really see realistically what it is. Now, I work for those people, and I sit with business owners all the time. And I think that it's tough because some people they have this mentality about how they think business is going to go. That's not rooted in reality. So hopefully we can, be real in this moment, but also be optimistic and give people something realistic that they can set some goals around. And that way we can all as a community be able to move forward with those examples. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Listen, we've been
Yeah,
plotting on this for the longest.
yeah,
So,
we in here.
as for the longest, listen, people don't even know how hard it is to get you to here.
Oh, there you go.
Look, working all day,
Listen,
every
listen,
day.
Quentin already know how I feel about him and his outfit. I've been waiting. You don't even answer my text.
Really?
I'm gonna drive in
Anyway,
2 hours. I'm coming. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna
listen,
get
I get it. Listen, I got you here for the interview, so I feel like I feel like you can be trusted. Okay. All right. So, um, I've set the interview up in a couple of different sections. I want people to learn from you about your personal experiences that brought you into being business and property owners. I know you all teach a literacy class around this, so I do want you to give my audience just some nuggets of what they can expect from you all as business people. But we ain't giving no keys away for free or nothing like that. And then we're going to talk about balancing your relationship with your family, and what that really looks like in practical application. Because I'm all for this. Let me tell y'all something. I'm a socialist, so I believe everybody family should have a business. But just starting in with your personal experiences, tell me a little bit about how you all met and how long you've been together.
Feel like you can take this one.
Go ahead.
We actually initially met in high school, but yeah, but we didn't communicate. Like I didn't. We ran with different circles, so I didn't know anything about Quentin. I knew of him, but we really didn't have any run-ins or anything. We kind of reconnected in our early 20s. So we've been talking since we were 22. Yeah, actually. And so we've been together since then, so like a little bit over 10 years. But we initially met each other in high school, but we really didn't we didn't date or anything then. That came later on.
Okay.
We
So
did
been together.
high school, but I don't remember that. I mean,
Oh, wow. Wow. Listen, just the fact that we have moved from y'all being in high school to being like super, super old
Miami
people.
school.
Yeah, it's a lot. But
oh,
okay, so what do you feel like are the because I was there, at the beginning of y'all being in your relationship, and I think from the start, the belief, the mindset of being entrepreneurs was there. Do you think that because and I told you I was going to ask these questions a little bit differently. I really feel like there's so much animosity between men and women, particularly black men and women right now, because we ain't got no business. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And I think if we were choosing partnerships based on what creates the most lasting, cooperation around like what our actual vision is, we would have more relationship success. I think they're correlated. So as two people who have always had like a business model, an entrepreneurial mind, do you think that was like at the forefront of how y'all formed y'all's relationship?
Nah,
Yeah, no.
nah. I wouldn't say business definitely wasn't it,
Yeah.
but being able to like talk and just understand each other allow business to be more smoother, I guess. Just more of a hey, we can figure it out because really, I think people may look at business as it's intimidating, but it's really just an achievement, like a goal. Like, hey, let's try this or let's do that. So, I don't really, I don't really think it kept us together, or I don't think it like kind of like made us closer
Like
together.
brought us together.
Yeah,
Not at all. It's kind of the opposite. Like when we first met, I'm corporate. Like I'm gonna work a 9 to 5, and I love it, and I'm good at it because I like the stability. I can go to work. I can do my job well. I know I'm
And
getting,
then just come home.
and I can go home. And so the fact that we met and I was like working in the finance sector and he was already an entrepreneur, that kind of almost made us not even want to be together because I didn't see the creative
Vision.
side. Like, yeah, I didn't see the vision at all. So a lot of the things he was doing that he was confident in, I was kind of like, yeah, we should do something different. So it took a very long time for me to even come cross over to being an entrepreneur or a business owner. And I still don't really see myself as that as much as he does, but it took a lot. We're a lot different, believe it or not.
I believe it.
I know you know.
I want to show a video to the people of
Right.
y'all doing what it is that you do best. So, like y'all know,
I
I'm
like to
still
use
learning.
experience.
Okay, here
Let me
we go.
see.
So I'm using people who I don't use or somebody I know done use.
Like I'll buy the material and I'll pay you for the labor when it's done. You want to have the money to buy the material and I have to use it.
So
Oh,
these came off of y'all's IG. Everyone who
Yeah.
hasn't, go ahead and follow them on the Real Estate Mob. I mean Masters, Real Estate Masters. But this was a video because y'all very rarely are in videos
Yeah.
together doing your thing. But I think it says a lot in how you complement each other just in your personal relationship as to what it was that you ended up bringing to this business. Because like I said, and I talk about this a lot whenever I talk to people about couples. Two people don't have to be doing the same thing to agree.
Mm-hmm.
Agreement can be you at Lowe's and her at Bed Bath and Beyond, and you're still in agreement with each other. So the decision to start a family is very similar though to to a decision to start a business. Like that same type, just like even when you talked about the paradigm shift, like in your mind, of like going from corporate to now being your own boss, being an entrepreneur. Because everybody think that's glamorous, but I just told a lady she's a business owner, and I had to tell her to her face because I'm a savage.
I
I
already
told her, I
know.
said, listen, if you gonna make $50,000 a year, you might as well go. You might as well go to work.
Yeah.
You might as well go work for somebody else because it's gonna be a lot easier for you to make that 50,000 on somebody's job than trying to do your own business. And this is all you got to show for it.
I agree with that.
I hate to be so savage, but
Yeah.
you know,
Be honest. You got to be
Yeah.
straightforward because in
right?
business, people using it for an income and stability. You really don't want to give somebody some like feed them the BS and the hope without like the honesty.
Right.
Because me being honest with a person, I help them understand how honest they need to be with themselves. Because
Exactly.
and sometimes, especially with online now, it can work in a good and a bad
Mm-hmm.
because it can make you think that it's easy to do, it's simple to do. Just fix your credit and do all this, and then money just comes
Yeah.
flowing in. Or everybody makes it seem so simple, but nobody really puts in what you can lose, what it really takes, how many hours you got to do. Who you gonna blame it on? You
Right.
got it's you. Nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but it's the paradigm shift because what it takes to lose weight, what it takes to be committed in marriage, what it takes to be committed to your own personal goals, what it takes to get a degree, it's mostly all up here in your mind. So the decision to start a family and the decision to start a business in that way is a paradigm shift because most women don't see themselves as moms, and then you become a mom, and you're like, how? What in the world? So do you feel like being in business together was something like coming into that decision was similar to starting a family? And why would you want to do both?
I remember when we first like really got serious and we're talking about marriage and everything, Quentin would say, contract. Like it's like going into a contractual agreement. And that used to make me so mad because I'm like, this is marriage. This is not a business. Like that business mindset stuff is crazy. But now it definitely is a contractual agreement. Like you go get a marriage license. You are
Yep.
going into an agreement with the person you're choosing to be with. And so as I got older, because it took some time, I could start to understand like the similarities in choosing to go into business together and starting a family together. Because it's a choice that you have to keep making every day. And it takes the same level almost of like commitment, organization, understanding for both of those things. And so that's something we're definitely still learning. But I think like he said, since we started off like with really good communication before anything, like before we even started dating, we were really good friends. So it's easy to maintain family and business. Otherwise, I don't think it ever would have worked ever, because working with someone all day and then being in a relationship with that person too all day, if you don't have a strong foundation, it's not working.
Yeah. And I feel, like I said, I'm a scientist, I'm a social scientist. And so I feel like a lot of the breakdown that we're seeing in our community economically is parallel to the breakdowns we're seeing in family units, grandparents not being involved with grandchildren, relationships not being able to stay together. And that's why it was so pivotal and poignant for me to get y'all here. Thank you. Because like you said, it is a challenge, and I think so many people are looking for the easy way out of everything, both business and personal. Like if it doesn't come with like a YouTube video or like a TikTok app to be able to do it, then I don't want to do it. And since we ended up kind of like going down this bent, I'm gonna keep going because I kind of like where we are. So you said something about saying about it being challenging to kind of hold that dynamic together. And since it's so challenging anyway right now, the state of Black marriage and family, do you feel like the business has like in a way added a dimension to your relationship, or do you feel like it's been more like detrimental? Like what does that look like for someone who isn't experiencing that?
I think, me personally, I think that the business and like the relationship side of it, I think it's all pretty smooth, because I think you really gotta eliminate everything in the outside and just understand like you're in your own world. You gotta, I can't look at aunts, uncles, cousins. You gotta really focus in on your world. What is your world, and what matters in your world? So the stuff you gotta handle in your world is it kind of make it easier and really more simple, because you know what you got to focus on, you know what you got to handle. And with the business and stuff, is like it's no rush. It's no, not trying to be no big guru. It's just realistic, and you
Mhm.
focusing on real life. I'm not focusing on a million followers, or I'm focused on real life, paying real bills, gaining real assets, tangible things, really in like the streets and really seeing things. And I think with relationship and business, doing all this together, we're just kind of like sharpening the swords of each other. And if I'm going to do it, me being me, knowing like how the world is, how I outlook it, I wouldn't do it outside of family, because that's all you're gonna have. That's all you really got. So if you're gonna build, I feel like you should like get together, find
Yeah.
your partner, find your person, and build.
Yeah,
Like,
make it happen.
yeah, you gotta build. It's everybody's looking for unrealistic things, and I think once you get realistic, you can start accomplishing a lot more things by just breaking things down and just going at them together. Because
Yeah.
I'm not good at everything, but what I'm not good at, she's great at.
Mm-hmm.
So the business is efforts from both of us
Yeah.
to make it reach accomplishments. So I'm not doing everything. She's not doing everything. We just do what need to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Finding assets to look, if the toilet clogged up, we just got to do what got to be done, and you got to just understand what you're doing and the power of the time and what you're doing during that time, because
Mm-hmm.
time adds up, and you're only going to be able to tell what you're doing in the time It's when you hit the equal sign and you see what it done added up to.
Yeah, what the time came out to. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can look at your hair and see who has the longest hair, and
But
then you'll know how much time.
the hair is time, but it's a different story.
Mm.
A different story.
Yeah, see, they don't know about this life. This hair be telling the story of
It's a story in the
where you
hair.
was
The
at the
hair be
last
with
year.
you.
Yeah,
The
and
hair
like I
knows.
said, one day when you get there where I'm at, we'll share the.
I'm gonna get there.
No, I really think that the beauty of who we are as black people is the fact that we can multiply our effort. While the world is looking for who they can capitalize on, who gonna sit
Yeah.
at home while somebody else go out and work, who already did all the work so that I can just
Mhm.
now come in and rest. I hear people
Right.
saying that like, rest like as if like as if there isn't still work to be done. So I think it's important that you saying that the things I'm not good at she's got, and it allows you to be able to have this whole other agent of family and business who's able to come in now and do, free you up, not to go rest but to go
Mhm.
and do other things that also
Mhm.
build the empire. And I think that's the difference between a power couple or a power struggle. you know I think I might have lost y'all. I just see people blinking. But I mean, how do you all balance it? You should have seen it. Teresa, you was like this.
I was like power couple or
The power couple or a power struggle. And so
oh
I was
okay.
going to say, how do y'all work through those things and balance those things out before we go into talking a little bit more about what it is that you do exactly?
Mhm. I think over time we are. I
I
think
can't hear
like
you.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yep. I can hear you now.
Okay, I said I think over time we realized like what our strengths and weaknesses are. So, I think for anybody, it's really hard to admit any type of shortcoming at all. So when you can get to the point where you can say like, "Hey, I'm really not good at that. Can you help me with this?" Or, "Look, you really are not good at that. I can help you with this," and the other person not get offended. That's the only way you can build in relationship, family, and business. So once we were able to really sit down and be like, okay, we actually do work better together because
Mm-hmm.
I was working at first and then 9 to 5 wise. Then I started my own business. He already had multiple businesses and everything that he was working on well before I came into the picture. But the most successful business we had was when we started a business together. And this was years ago. So it took
It
some
was. Yeah, because I
time.
was there and I saw it and I was watching y'all
Yeah,
work together and I was like, well, damn. And I felt some
right.
type of way. I ain't gonna lie. I was low key hating a little bit
Yeah.
because I wasn't really sure what the point was,
Hmm.
But it's like what Quentin said. It's the time. The time you hit equals on it, and it's like okay now.
Yeah, like what you've been doing
Yeah.
because we both can be fighting at different things
Right.
and coming up short. But
Hmm.
sometimes you just gotta see what's going on and just it ain't compromising. It's just being smart, like we gotta do this.
Yeah.
This guy, we gotta do this.
Yeah.
So
Once you have a goal in mind and you realize what you have to do
Mm-hmm.
to reach that goal, okay, well, what are we going to do to reach this goal? Because what you're doing by yourself and what I'm doing by myself, that's not working.
Yeah,
So,
because a
yeah.
lot of people don't know y'all each had individual businesses before you
Hmm.
decided to go into business yourself. Because if I might, ma'am, you still owe me. You
Oh,
look at
still owe me
look at her,
a facial. You
just
still
like
owe
them
me that
folks,
facial.
boy.
listen, I will do that for you.
I'm trying to get one
You can
too.
get what?
Okay.
He said I'm trying to get one too. Yeah. And
You
that's the
still owe
thing.
you
Yeah.
before you stopped your esthetician business. Now you promised me a facial, so I just
And I'm actually glad you said that because that was like a big turning point. Because I had just graduated from Aveda. I'm really ready to do the esteology thing, open my own spa, and we came to a point where we were like, well, actually, we have a whole nother business venture we need to do that can take us from here to here. We're not in the position to start a new business, so that might have to wait. And although that's not what I wanted to hear in the long run. It ended up being what was best for our family, because when you make the
Exactly.
decision to be a family, you have to make those types of decisions. So,
Yeah, those
yeah,
types of sacrifices.
yeah.
Yeah, because I was waiting for it. I was waiting for that to pop off, and then it was like, wait,
What's
real
going on?
estate? What
Yeah.
is you doing, baby? So speaking of business venture as a family, right? Do you find that? Well, I want to learn a lot more about what it is that y'all actually do. If you could tell the people, what is your actual business model?
Um, so what business are we pertaining to? Um,
Listen, you're supposed to know what business you're
okay.
doing. I'm
So,
talking about real estate. You act like I didn't see you the questions ahead of time. Queen. Like, what's good?
nah, I'm
No,
just,
we're that's what I was gonna say. Ultimately, real estate. You started in real estate. Tell me a little bit about how you got started. Like, how did that decision come up, and then what were like your first steps?
okay. So basically, what we do is we do real estate and we buy distressed properties and we renovate them and we flip them or we bury them. That's when you buy them, you rehab them, you refinance them, you repeat. So you turn it into an asset for you using OPM, other people's money.
Right.
You down with OPM? Yeah, you know me. You down with
Yeah.
OPM? Yeah, you know me. Who down with OPM?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah. So so that's basically one thing that we do. We buy houses and we renovate houses. Renovate houses, turn them into family owned assets.
Hmm.
Okay. How did you get started in that though? Like, cause like you had your esthetician business,
Yeah.
you had record label, had like you had lots of businesses before we
Lots of
got here.
stuff.
So what was the tipping point to say, you know what, I think we can do this?
Before you even answer,
Okay.
well, are you gonna lose your train of thought?
No, I'm good.
Okay, okay. I don't even, I won't even say we made a conscious decision to go into real estate. I think it was a necessity thing. Like, yeah, he's had a record label, he had a trucking company,
Debt
landscaping,
collection.
collections, everything. And I'm like, we had to get to the point where we needed sustainability. And like while we were running businesses during the daytime, like he was working, I mean, like physical labor during the day, and we were still hustling at night. Like we had a cleaning contract where the cleaners didn't show up. And so we had to go out every night cleaning daycares and cleaning country clubs and all this stuff. So while people were sleeping, we were out at 3 or 4 in the morning doing jobs that people wouldn't dare do. And that's the stuff you don't see behind the scenes. But then when you announce an accomplishment, people think you took an easy route to get there. And it took a lot of hard work. So I think going into real estate was like a necessity type of thing so that we wouldn't have to keep trying to figure out things that could possibly work. But yeah, he found out about like how we started through a friend, kind of like put him on track with it.
Yeah. So what drove you really into real estate? As you know, I had the studios and I had the dance studios and recording studios, but we went in and renovated them
Mm,
and lost a lot of money in them because I was rehabbing someone else's property.
yeah,
And when those leases are up, everything I've done to them, they're not my property. I can't do anything with it. So it's just if you're not making money with it, you just lost.
right,
It's not an asset,
yeah.
So um, I went from that point of doing commercials and doing studios and all that to doing basically residential housing.
Hmm.
And got into real estate. I was talking to uh, this friend of mine, this old guy, and he was telling me about tax sales. So yeah, he told me about buying tax deeds and stuff. So I took him up on the information. I took him up on it, and I'm the type of person, if you're talking to me about something and it's making sense, you don't got to talk my ear off.
Die gonna do it.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it. You don't got to
Die
talk my
gonna
ear.
try it. Die gonna do it.
I'm gonna try it, and if I fail, I'm gonna try it again because if you did it, I
I
can
can do
do it.
it.
So it
Listen,
don't
I don't care
matter,
what nobody say. The renovation that y'all did on that property in Noda, that was fire right there. That's probably
man.
one of the most fire things I ever
And you
seen before
know,
in life.
with that property, like it was all a vision. You know what it was before
Oh
it got it. It
yeah.
was all a vision, and that's one of the things. If you put in the work, it all come together. It came out exactly how it
Mhm.
was envisioned. I remember the days when nobody would ever come in there
Mhm.
to the days it was packed.
Yeah.
The whole building,
Mhm.
all 6,000
Oh
square feet,
yeah.
top
Yep.
floor, bottom.
God, man,
It
I
was
miss
a
that.
good feeling, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Cause see, people don't know we was up there on that top floor with Terrell and
Mhm.
Q
yep,
from
Backstreet.
Black Street. Yeah,
Yep, yep.
Chauncey from Black
Chauncey,
Street.
Mhm.
All
yep.
that stuff. See, they don't they don't know about
They
us.
They
don't
don't know.
know.
We done
They
sitting and
don't
worked a long time.
Yeah, a
know.
long time.
Man,
Connections,
people do
relationships.
not
Yeah.
know. They really be thinking just because we be sitting back in the
We
cut
don't
there.
talk much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk
Like
much.
you said, we if we was after 1 million followers, we would have them. Like people don't
Yeah,
understand. If we
No,
wasn't doing
yeah.
real work, if we was clout chasing by
If we was
now,
yeah,
clout chasing, we would
yeah.
have
We was
it.
clout
we
chasing.
would have caught the clout. We
Yeah.
would have caught
Yeah,
that clout. If we just
Yeah.
yeah,
if we had kept chasing clout back then, we would have caught it.
yeah.
True.
We
Ain't
would have
nobody
had
do you
clout by
like
the
that.
toe. We'd been
Right.
like clout. Come here.
Yeah, it's ours. But now to be honest, that just never was really the intentions for
Yeah.
it. So it allowed me to just stay focused
Stay
on
focused.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
the objective. You
Yeah.
know.
And it showed you too, like we didn't even know at that time, but it was actually a projection of what the future was going to end up
Right.
being.
Yeah,
You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
we thought it was in the music, and it ended up being in the river. Because that renovation was
Mhm.
fire.
yeah, yeah.
You know
That
what's
top floor was
crazy with
hot though.
that? Like he spent probably a year. How long did it take you to get that thing
To
done?
renovate it,
Yeah.
I think now this is about 6 months
About
though.
6 months on their renovation and like whole life savings and everything. And they ended up coming in and doing the light rail and as soon as he finished the renovation and everything kind of like just was lost because
Yeah.
of a loophole
Yeah.
the owner had in the contract that we didn't have that business mindset. We
Yeah.
early 20s. It's 22, 23. We didn't know what we were signing. So he knew in 2, 3 years they were gonna sell that building. We had no idea. So he put thousands of dollars into the renovation and they sold it right from under us and
Yeah,
tore it down. So we lost everything.
Yeah,
And
and
like
it's so important for people to understand
yeah.
ownership because, I said it on my
Hmm.
TikTok how they said we would own nothing and be happy. People
hmm
leasing everything. People lease their
Right.
clothes now.
Exactly.
You
hmm
can
Yeah.
actually, did y'all know you can lease a boyfriend? You can lease a boy or girlfriend now. Yeah,
And what
they
they
took it
pay?
that far. They
You
took
like
it.
what for rent?
I know. I listen.
I
I
would
would look.
start a agency and just say I know a
That's
couple
like
dudes.
actually
Just
pimping.
it's
Something's
it's
business.
it's
wrong.
it's full level escort, but they have companionship. You can lease a companion. You know what I'm
Oh my
saying?
god.
Like this. So I'm just saying, but we don't understand the value of the thing, like you said, until somebody comes in and take it out. Because you literally raise the property value just for them
Hmm.
people to come in and own it.
Yeah.
But okay, moving forward, you have this thing. You have this thing, die. Q die called driving for dollars. What is that?
Driving for dollars. So basically driving for dollars is when um you ride around in, I'm not gonna say low class areas, but you ride around in areas of distress,
Hmm.
areas that
That's having to get
maybe have
renovated.
room for improvement,
Yeah.
and you locate properties. I like abandoned properties or homes that show distressed characteristics, as far as a messed up roof, messed up blinds, messed up gutters, overgrown bushes, broken windows. Those are signals of distress to a property. So a lot of our deals come from just driving $4, and that's just when we get in the car. And I tell people, just go get lost. You're
Hmm.
never gonna find something you've never seen until you go places you've never been.
I look for it.
Yeah, you got to go look for it. So pick an area and you just drive around those areas, drive down those streets you never turned down, and just find your treasure.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it kind of a people business too, because I'm sitting here like, look at Quentin out here trying to be a black gentrifier out here
Yeah,
I'm a,
gentrifying
basically.
the
hey,
community.
we
And for
gonna make a
everyone
check.
that's joining the chat, is I have some sort of like issue with my chat right now. I think it's probably because Facebook be blocking me all the time, so I can't see the face. I can't see the Facebook chat, but I do still have YouTube chat. So make sure that you leave a note, a message, let me know that you're there. And if you do have questions that are coming up, I'm going to drop the link in just a little bit. We can bring some people in, and you can also put your questions in for Quentin and Tamecia to be able to answer for you. So it is a live interactive show. We ain't here just live. We are interactive. So we are here for the people. But I do want to make sure, though, that we put out some nuggets just for how people can begin to think about this, because I get people come in my office all the time. They're asking about, Airbnbs. They're wanting to start in real estate, I feel like, in the middle or at the top. And that could be really inundating for somebody that has no experience, because, like you said, they don't know what they're looking for. They don't have everything in place a lot of times. So with the flip market being so oversaturated, people having limited resources, how can someone who says to themselves, listen, I do not want to work for the man every day of my life, I would like to own something,
Hmm.
how would these people start?
Um, I really feel like before you can start, you got to be honest about what it really takes. And working for the man ain't nothing wrong working for the man. Long
Every
as you
night and
just
day.
ain't the thing about working for the man is I ain't never worked for the man, but I'm saying if I'm gonna work for the man, I'm gonna make sure that it's just getting me to where I'm trying to go. I'm not gonna get stuck working for the man, you know. So um, I just really feel like
What are the actionable steps?
Yeah,
the
what,
steps.
yeah, to
Okay,
start.
so steps to start really is
I mean, it's a lot of
Uh,
different ways.
yes, a lot of different ways to start in real estate, but your first thing that you want to know is your money, or how are you gonna you want to get a house, but how do you want to go about getting a house? Are you looking to buy a house cash? Are you looking to wholesale a house? What price range house you looking for? You know,
Mm-hmm.
so all those are like contributing factors on where you even start, what you're looking for. You know, I want to get into real estate. Some people consider Airbnb real estate.
Yeah.
Okay, you can go get an apartment right now and do
Hmm.
Airbnb, but that's not the same real estate that I'm really talking about.
Right.
You know, so
Right, right. Those are the people that's gonna least their way, least their
Yeah.
way into
Hmm.
and that does work for some people. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I ain't gonna knock it, because it
Hmm.
does work. Now it do be given, but I know you were talking about the tax properties. Like, so if someone got their income tax back, right, and they
Hmm.
got 5, 6, maybe 7, maybe $8,000, what would be a good entryway? What would be a good segue for somebody to come into this whole real estate game?
okay, if you're going to go with the tax deed route for real estate, you can get a property for $1,000, $3,000. And the thing about that property is, yeah, it'll be distressed, it'll be ugly, it'll be messed up, but long as you get ownership of that property, you got action. You got so you now you have something. We bought like six tax deeds.
Yeah.
He told me about it. I drove 2 hours, bought six of them. It was like $10,000 probably. But I didn't do nothing with those properties for like 2 years. But I just knew I needed some real estate, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna give you the deed." I'm like, "Cool, let's get them." So I was able to do that. But the thing with the tax deeds is you got to know what you're getting them for.
Right.
A lot of people are buying tax deeds with really no value just because it's a deed. You can pay
Hmm.
$100 for um, some land somewhere, but this land is in a flood zone. You can't really even build a house on it. It's really worthless. You're just giving the county money for something that has no value really to you. You can't do anything with it. You can't use it as collateral. Is no value to it. So if you're going to go the tax deed route, first you got to find a county that matches your budget.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to find a tax list. And the thing with this is a lot of times people want to ask questions to feel like they get an answer directly from that person to make them feel like they can move forward
Mm-hmm.
or they're doing the right thing. But once the guy told me about the tax deeds and he seen that I went forward with it, he stopped talking to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you
So,
really doing
Oh, you're like,
this?
oh, you
Okay.
for real? I'm like, man, hey,
oh,
you
I
know,
didn't just say something to you and you just go back home and eat a sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So my biggest thing with people when they get into this stuff, my co-founder I always say is Google. Google is my co-founder. All the questions and stuff you can ask, all the information you need to support what you're missing, you can find it on Google. So one thing you can do is you pick the county that you want and just pick tax sale deeds into the Google search bar. It's public information. It's gonna pop up. They're gonna give you a whole list. They're gonna give you the map number. They're gonna tell you the price and all that. And then you
Yeah.
go from there. You do your research. A lot of people don't want to do their research or put in the time,
Right.
but they think it's a 30-day turnaround.
And it's not.
It's not.
It's also a sacrifice too. Like to get into real estate, you have to figure out where are you starting? Like how much money do I actually have? What's my credit score? What are my options before I get into this? Because it's gonna take money before it makes money. So you can get into real estate with no money.
No
You
money.
really actually can. And it's like a couple of different ways you can do it. But like with the tax deeds, you can get a real deed to a piece of property or land for less than $1,000. Yes, but that title is not clear. Later on down the line, you'll need money for that. You can learn, get on Google. Y'all got Chat GPT now. We ain't have that.
No.
You can literally look and see, hey, what is wholesaling? How can I get into wholesaling? Because that's a way. I know y'all know what the middleman is. Like, come on, we from around the
Middleman.
way.
Yeah.
There's a way you can take someone that's in a financial distress, you know find someone else that wants to purchase their property and you take some money off of the transaction if you need to make enough money to get yourself into being able to invest. On top of that, if you have good credit, which if we don't have good credit right now, we should be working on having good credit. Devian got
At
that.
all times.
She know about that.
Auntie got good
Yeah,
credit.
Auntie got good. Actually, Auntie is the first person that co-signed on a car. Didn't you co-sign on my car and my apartment when I was like,
In your apartment. Yeah.
you been having
Yeah.
good credit? Come on, girl.
And you know what's crazy? I was the age then that you are now.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
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 So she actually
Yeah.
helped me get my whole
I've been
entire
about you and I'm still
right.
about
Been
you.
a boss
Okay.
forever.
Big
But
boss.
Yeah.
yeah, if you
Yeah,
have
well,
good
I
credit,
bought my, here's the thing because it's very poignant for you to say education because I came in here to make it all about y'all, Butterum. The first homeowner that we had in our family was my mom, you know what I'm saying? And then I bought my home at 23 years old. I bought my first
did.
home at 23 years old. And I wish I knew then, of course, the things that I know now. But I think that the tenet of that comes in how we raise our children. Like I think so many people have not put the tenets of ownership into their children. So it's like, oh, I'm flossing. I got, a penthouse apartment. Because you remember when y'all had the townhouse downtown in Charlotte,
Oh yeah.
down in the center city, and y'all thought y'all ate, man.
Look,
Y'all
he
thought
felt like
y'all ate.
nothing. Yeah.
But now that we have these different value systems, you know what I'm saying, the mentality, like you said, the education is there, but if we don't value education, we'll take that approach into everything else we do.
Yep.
Yeah. Knowledge gonna always push you forward. And,
Yeah, that's
you
gonna
got
always be the piece that's the most powerful.
yeah.
So do you feel, I'm gonna say this and then I guess I'll drop the link. I'll go ahead and drop the link with where the people at. It is a Sunday night though, but I'll go ahead and drop the link into the chat. I think my chat's just not coming up. It's happened before, so I'm sure if I go to look, it'll be in there. But the link has been dropped, so anybody who wants to come in and chat with us can feel free to. But I do want to, for me, everything on the Wireless Woman is about how things connect, how things fit together. Have you, I know just myself looking at people who are approaching doing real estate and things like that, you end up working with a lot of Hispanics. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like this has been a tough industry to be in as far as being a black family and a black couple?
I feel like it has its ups and it has its downs. It has its benefits.
Especially in the South.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I actually lost deals. I feel like just because sometimes you are just because you don't have a certain title as a certain person, they always distinguish themselves as being smarter than you, you know. So sometimes I may come into deals and show people their value they didn't know they had, you know. So it make them back out of the deal and try to cash in on their value, their sales that had no value to them
Who are you
until,
talking about?
huh?
Hmm?
What?
What are you talking about?
So like,
What he's saying, because Quentin's not. He's not a problematic person, but what he's saying is,
Go ahead and bring that smoke. Go ahead and bring that
so
smoke.
basically, okay, Quentin is a black male. He has locks. He's very well spoken, but not as outspoken as he could be. So you wouldn't know how knowledgeable he is in certain
He is.
things. And so a lot of times when you're talking about distressed property and real estate, white people own those homes. They own that land, and they've had it forever. They've had, generations of people that have passed away, and they've passed these properties down to kids and grandkids that don't want it or know it exists. When he comes up and he's like, "Hey, I found this property. I would love to take it off your hands. You don't have to fix it up or anything. I will buy it from you as is." They start to see this black man sees value in something we didn't even know
You
existed.
think gentrification?
Okay. And so now it's like, well, if he can do something with it, I know I can. And that's the intelligence thing. Like, he can't possibly be smarter or know more than I do. And it's been a couple of times where he's had to tell lawyers, attorneys, and people with big titles information they didn't necessarily know, just so he
Yeah.
could get the deal closed,
Yeah.
because they don't want
Yeah.
to admit that something they don't, or you can do something they can't do. But to your first question, as far as the Hispanic thing goes, man, the Hispanics make the world go round. We
yeah,
love working with black
What
people.
would
We
we
give black people the
do?
opportunities before anybody else.
yeah,
But it's a 60% chance that it's not gonna go as planned. I really hate to say that, man, because we're doing this for our people. We build affordable homes or flip affordable homes for our people. We try to create jobs for our people, and 9 times out of 10, they don't want to work for
Right.
us.
Right. And here's the thing, people can chop and screw stuff you say
Right.
and take a sound bite, make it, because as people who are trying to press forward and forge forward as business people, we always want people to feel like we here for the culture. But if we're not
Mhm.
honest
yeah,
about what our experiences are, we can't really fix the problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we got here in a participation trophy type of stance where
Mhm.
it's like, oh, we just gonna do it for the culture. We just gonna do it for the culture. But
Right.
when we don't really take time to, like you said, educate ourselves, to build with our family in mind, if we don't start to really be honest about what our experiences are, then we're going to keep fighting about the wrong
Yeah,
things.
that's right. Hmm.
Because when we sit around and we watch people fighting on the internet right now about stuff, like, it was funny because in the 90s, I'm old enough to remember what the fight was about in the 90s. And in the 90s, people was killing each other over blocks they didn't own. And we kept telling people that we was like, y'all don't even own this block. And it's like, now we watching this gender war where it used to be out there, but now it's in here. You said it was fading in and out. Okay, hold on. Hey Felicia, thanks for coming in and at least putting say it was fading in and out. honestly was never a homeowner. Now I look forward to learning about real estate and home ownership with my daughter. Yeah, and these things are generational. And like what you said at the beginning, it's a mental paradigm. It's a mind shift. And anyone who clicks the link that's in the chat, you can actually come on. So, but yeah, it's a whole entire paradigm shift. And like I said, like y'all are in your own respect first generational homeowners. Like, you know, Quentin, you owning a home was really the thing that put, you know, your mom and your family, you know, being able to reach back and say, okay, now we have done this, everyone can do it. You know, me and you, Tamecia, our family line was a little different because we did have home ownership in our home. Because, you know, outside of my mom, you know, our Aunt Juanita, you know, homeowners, you know, these things are at least the value system of doing that has been in our family line. But
Right.
do you feel like now that you all are making that you know, making those sacrifices and things like that, that you are going to be instilling those things in your children?
Yeah, I really think home ownership is pretty cool. It's cool, but you gotta be doing it for a reason. You got to have a purpose for your assets. I definitely include this with my kids just so they know that it's a simpler way. I'm not going to say easy,
Yeah.
but it's a simpler way to your freedom. And when I speak freedom, I mean controlling of their own time, but dependent on themselves. You know, it don't take 50 years
No.
to get somewhere. You can put in a good 5 and be free
Yeah.
forever. You know, and I used to think um, owning a personal home was like it,
Mhm.
but it's really not. You know, but for my people who don't own a personal home, it's the gateway to real estate investment because if we can get you a personal home, we're going to eliminate paying somebody else's mortgage
Right.
for
There
them.
you go.
But then we're going to take that equity in your personal home and utilize that as your down payment on your investment property. So
But
now,
you know, I'm already ready. You know, I'm holding that 750.
yeah,
And
Yes.
I want an 800, but you know, until I
you
get this
don't
new
look.
job.
People think they you don't.
You don't need.
You
Listen,
don't.
the better the credit
Everything,
score, the better the interest rate. So I ain't mad. But
yeah, but
that seven
everything above a
fifty,
740 is the same thing.
Look,
true. Now that's true.
listen. Rocking the way we rock. In
Yeah.
all honesty, um, you can go get you a house right now with a
600.
600 credit
Yeah.
score.
And that's the thing. Seek the knowledge, man, before you count yourself out because you
Yeah,
will really be surprised. The
Yeah.
things you think you have to do and work on to become a homeowner, speak to a professional because you may not even need to worry about those things. And even if you're a first time home buyer, you don't have to go buy your forever home. You don't have to go buy the mansion on the hill. You can get a FHA loan, you get a USDA loan and go buy you a multifamily. It can add to your reporting income, that can help you create residual income to buy your dream house in 5 6 years or less. But I think the biggest thing with real estate for me is that Black people are so far behind others because we haven't had the discussions on how to build wealth, how to stay
Yep.
out of
Yep.
debt, how to use other
Yeah.
people's money or utilize debt in a way that is beneficial to us. We don't know. We don't have these conversations.
We don't. We don't.
Just ownership is so important in wealth building. It's not an option. If you don't want to work until retirement age of 65 and then still not have enough money to retire comfortably,
Woof.
you have to learn how to invest, save, but also own something. You got to own something. So everything we're doing, because we're learning, we don't know. We Google is our co-founder, like he said. Everything we learn, we trying to teach our kids so they don't have to complete this cycle. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Preach. You know, this is all I do all day on my job, and evidently Somebody decided it was a good idea to pay me more money to do it, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them
Okay.
for
And we
seeing
proud of them
potential in
too.
me.
Right.
Listen, y'all. I'm just waiting on that letter.
Knows.
But everything that you said is so true. When I talk to people about the nature of money, I have to approach it so differently when I'm talking to black people because it is a matter of a broken heart. It's a matter of disappointment and a broken heart for black people. Like he said, we trying to buy back our 40 acres. Like there is something in the heart of us as people. And that's why I said you don't just see it in money. You don't just see it in ownership. You also see it in our relationships. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us could have gotten to a lot of these assets a whole lot sooner if we had family structure intact. So, as much as I want to sit in and be like, hey, let's just talk about this money, you can't. I had a lady that had almost a $500,000 business. And I'm looking at her account and she got 8,000. And so I called her in because I was like, hey, come holler at me. Come talk to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she had gone through, she had a fiance. They had split up. And I had to talk to her because I was like, she was like, well, I had everything in my name. I had everything in my name. And I said, but you own 100% of nothing. I said, what did it take to get you there in the first place? You was connected to other people. So where your network at? You know what I'm saying? But I had to have a real conversation with her that was like, you are still a boss. You know what I'm saying? Like if it wasn't for like speaking life into it, it's like all that potential is there. I ended up opening up a credit card for her. She got $21,000 on the credit card. So that means you had good credit. That means you had all this stuff behind it. But I had to tell her before she walked out there with that 21,000. Okay, what does this mean for you? And I told her, I said, sit down, do a business journal. Journal every day. I said, because as business owner, as a business owner, you have certain things within you that will impact your business. I said, and so the more that you journal, and I learned this from a lady about food. She had lost a lot of weight, and she said, I can already tell at certain times of the year when I'm going to have a problem. I can already tell when certain things happen in my personal life. I know I'm going to eat my way out. So because this journaling has showed me on each day what type of reaction I had to certain things, I can go back and remember. I can get ahead of it. I can go ahead and do a juice fast before the holidays come because I know when they come what I'm going to do. So I think so often business owners fail to plan for the future because they're not paying attention even just to their own internal compass that's telling them about who they are as a person. I don't think there's anything that exposes your personal character like being a business owner. Because baby, if you ain't consistent, everybody gonna find out. You go 5-4. They go 5-4.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's really the issue more than anything else. And it's like you said, when people look back over how y'all got to where y'all are, because like we talking about the business, but people don't know what the flex is. What the flex benefits of it. Y'all own a very nice, very lovely home. You like you said, you guys have properties that are in your name, but when people just look at it, they don't know about those nights that you were, cleaning offices. They don't remember that part. But see, that journal helps you to always remember that, like, hey, this is really real. This is really, So in parting in us coming to the close of the podcast, what would you say are the biggest lessons that you would want to impart in the people? Because we trying to get people into this honeycomb home buyers.
Yeah.
We trying to make it. We trying to put everybody. We trying to be the plug that don't need a plug.
I need all my people with a house.
Yeah,
Then
seriously.
Well, I got one. So like I said, in a
Okay.
minute,
Let's go invest.
And
You
now,
ready now?
see, you got that primary. Let's go ahead and get them investment
Let's
properties.
stack them up now.
I'm not even sure anymore. Like I'm like pause on the podcast. I'm not even sure anymore if I'm gonna stay.
What?
I think this is have you been out here? Across the street from where my house is. I went out to take my son to school, and all the trees are gone.
Yeah, they building.
They done leveled everything across the street from my house. And on the back end of the neighborhood, next time y'all come in, when you come do that soft fit, Quentin,
I'm be down there.
On the back end, on the back end of the house, like you on the back end of the neighborhood, like you go into Liberty, it's all brand new houses. They just leveled a whole nother field back there. So those houses are like 270, 280,
Yeah,
two
let's go.
ninety five. So if they raise this property value up out here, it might be good for me to come in, do a little bit of renovation here,
Mm-hmm.
and then I might be looking at an investment property right now to move on to the next thing. I think we try to
There's
live in
nothing
the
wrong with that
houses.
at all.
Yeah, I think we try to live in the houses, but
Yeah.
if I go ahead on and sit on this a couple years, I can actually move on and make this an investment property and buy
And
something
that's
Hallelujah.
else
the
to
thing
live
about
in.
it. Because making that home an investment property will add to your income. So you'll be able to be approved for more purchasing power because you can say I have a rental property, I'm cash flowing an extra $700 a month. It's really an asset. You
We don't
don't have
talk,
to say,
but we don't talk.
yeah,
We
we heard
ready.
you.
We ready.
Yeah, that's good though.
But what would you say then, out of all these ups and downs, is the takeaway for someone who wants to follow that path?
Oh man, what I would say my biggest thing would be serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be serious and take the step. It's not hard. It's not impossible. It doesn't take, man, how easy it is to really get into real estate. Once you know these steps, you will be mad at yourself for doing
Mm.
anything else outside of it.
Mhm.
Listen,
Mhm. Mhm.
man, I get a whole house. The people gonna buy the house. They're gonna give me the money to rehab the house, and I'm gonna get a check off finding the house. And when I'm all done with it, I get to keep the house. Only thing I gotta do is make sure it get done. And it's no license required. It's no specialty, nothing required. Only thing is required is you being accountable of doing what you're supposed to do. And you just stack this. I told my mom, we go one house at a time. Don't worry about what nobody else doing. You gotta, like I say, you everybody in their own world. And in 5 years, if you get one house a year, in 5 years, that's $500,000 at least in assets. I don't know no job that's gonna give you $500,000 in income generating assets in 5 years. So you can do one a year, you can do two a year, you can do one a quarter. But every one that we do is always the first one.
Mhm.
I don't count them up. I don't stay on top of them as far as what I got because when I'm done with one, that one don't matter no more. It goes to another phase. It goes to another stage. So I always focus on just getting that one every time. We just
Before
Oh,
you
don't.
buy your
sorry.
first investment property, you should look
Sorry.
into
Hey,
just the
that's
basic techniques of measuring and the
I'm
materials
sorry. I
involved.
planned to
That will
play
save
this.
you lots of
Exactly
money
what he
down the
talks about
yeah.
in
line
that
when you're
video. Like, yeah,
negotiating for
teaching
your
other people
purchase on
how
the
to
property,
get
and when you're
the
working with contractors, you will not have to pay
Yeah.
the
So
full cost. You can only have to pay
just
for
being
the
hands
labor.
on and
You just
showing
want to be
people
knowledgeable
that
about
it's
what you're spending
real.
and what you're spending it on.
And crazy story about that house. You don't mind me sharing?
I don't.
Okay,
What's
so
supposed to happen? The video is supposed to come into the. I have a setting on it, and the setting is set to start playing when I hit it, but it's supposed to go in here, and then I put it on the screen. But
Oh,
so my fault. I was putting it in here because I was going to segue to it anyway.
this
I
thing like
look
I'm gonna
at
play
you.
it right now.
Tell me
I
about this.
CGS. Look at it. Nah, so
Tell me about it.
yo, with that property, that was actually a referral property. People don't really think you can get. The thing about tax deeds is they're one time a year.
Hmm.
They're one time a year. So after you miss those tax deeds, and tax deeds are so um, trigger words. Everybody
Yeah,
talking about tax deeds.
yeah.
Everybody talking about tax deeds, but they're only one time a year. And so I'm not fighting over no property because it's a lot of opportunity out here.
Hmm.
And with a tax deed, you still gotta wait. You gotta wait a whole year to even own that property. They got a
Yeah.
redemption period.
Hmm.
So to be honest, I can just backdoor you and go to the homeowner who owns the property and pay them some money
Yep, for the deed,
and
just to
backdoor
cover their taxes.
and
Hmm.
backdoor you. So but really outside of that, distressed properties, that property costed us. The guy wanted 25,000 for their house, and people like, man, you find a house for 25,000? I'm like, yeah, you just got to be out here in the streets. You know, it's a lot of things people consider trash, or that's just not their industry. Inherited the house from his dad,
Yeah.
and
It didn't have any value to
no
him.
value to him, but
Yeah.
what he could get off of it. So we ended up giving him like 18,000. But when the ARV came back, the house is worth 150,000.
That's the after fair value, like what it's actually worth.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
um
And even with him saying like, "Oh, the guy wanted 25,000, we paid him 18,000." We didn't have to pay him 18,000.
yeah
That's where other people's money comes in.
yeah
So it's like people get on TikTok and Instagram and they hear the trigger words, the tax deeds, and the rim mob or real estate masters was created so that you could take the information that you hear on TikTok and stuff, but really have somebody to tell you how this really works, so
yeah
that you
Really works. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
because that's just the tip of the iceberg. But you can find distressed properties. You can find people that want to sell them. You don't have to have 18,000,
nope
$25,000 for those houses, y'all.
You
Teach
do not.
how to get into that and not, yeah.
yeah
And I actually I wanted to shout out let me see, Mona Simone. Thank you
Most-
for coming over, hun.
what's up, Mona?
And we here for all the love. So I am bound by something called antitrust, where I'm not able to compete against the company that pay my bills for
Oh
right now.
yeah, yeah, that's
So
right.
I actually brought y'all over here to say stuff I can't say,
Mm-hmm.
because what can they really do? One thing about me is I'm full of finesse. Okay, you
Okay,
can't out finesse a finesser. So
can't do it.
a lot of people don't even understand like what you said when it comes to OMP,
Yeah,
OPM,
Hey, you gotta get into
OPM,
that.
don't hurt
OPM.
nobody.
Down with
Don't
OPM.
hurt nobody.
A lot of these business credit cards, and like I said, I have to be careful
Come
about
on,
what it
say
is
your
I say.
thing. Go
You can
ahead.
put 13,000 on a business credit card,
And it's not going to report to your personal credit.
and
We
Close
it
got to
is
to it.
stop
not
messing
gonna.
with our utilization
It does
and
not go into your
breaking down
personal
our score.
utilization,
Yeah.
baby. And see, that's where I specialize, because when you turn that LLC into the OPM,
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
but the thing about it is like you said, it's so much more simple than what we think it is. It's not that we've been locked out. It's this, that we don't have these discussions. While the
Right.
internet is full of folks sitting around talking about who's desirable and who's not, and
right.
who, and getting a passport and going somewhere else, we could have been sat down and had a conversation
Yeah,
Yeah.
about how we build our own communities, because the concept behind what you're saying, Quentin, more than anything else, is just gentrification. All
yeah,
they have, when they go downtown and they buy somebody grandma house that's
Mm-hmm.
dilapidated and then turn it into a high-rise hotel,
Mm-hmm.
those properties have been in black people's families
yeah.
for
Exactly.
generations,
Yeah.
Generations.
and they were way more valuable than
Mm-hmm.
some of these bohunk
Yeah,
country homes that these other folks was holding,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
but when you are able to change a person's mindset about what the value of the thing is that they're holding, you can take anything from them that you want to.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Like I be
Okay.
sitting in these rooms and I be acting like I be like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
but the long term plan of what I'm trying to get out of that is something that can be brought back and build the community.
Right.
Absolutely.
Gotta bring it
Yeah.
back.
Because we
Yeah,
get mad at them for the gentrification and coming in our communities and doing stuff we can do. We
yeah,
can be the gentrifier. Is that even a
yeah.
word? We can be the gentrifier in our own
Yes, yes.
community. We can
Instead of
put
a
them in.
colonizer, you
Yeah,
can
we
be
can
the
be the colonizer,
gentrifier
You
y'all.
just
of
gotta.
your own
You
community.
just really gotta just. We got. They call it a culture,
Yeah.
and they call it black people, but it's not all the same. Just because we're the same color, you just gotta get amongst people who want the same
Yeah.
outcome that you really see that's possible, and you just gotta believe. I just think people don't. have belief. They don't believe
Yeah.
because
No,
where
no,
we
no.
came
That's why I
from.
said when you break the spirit, you
Yeah,
can rob the house at that point.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
It's all on you, and I feel like everybody's like, oh, they talking about them 40 acres, man. I feel like everybody should they can have them a house and
Yeah.
investment property. Just man, if you people, man, I got homeboys who like a lot of people just don't know how powerful they are. They
Hmm.
don't know the power they possess, but they don't want to take the time to understand the power or what they can do or the knowledge. So
Yeah,
we,
they don't understand because their
yeah,
locks not as long as ours. One day,
yeah,
when they the tallest man in the room, they will understand. They have to achieve and attain unto the enlightenment that
there
comes.
you
You see what
go.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's why if we can get to Tamecia over here, anyway.
I'm
So
coming. No, I'm joining. I'm coming. I'm getting my hair locked.
trying to
Where's
tell
the
you that that's free your mind, free your hair of chemicals, and you'll free your mind. Anyway, that's a whole nother side note. But I definitely want to bring you all back. I definitely want to see if we can build some real steady content. This was really just an introduction to kind of what we do and how we do, but we definitely have a lot of actionable steps between the two of us. Like I said, it's a whole bunch of stuff I can't say,
we go.
but these are the things that we know. And Felicia says, woo. I feel like crying listening to y'all. I got to
let's
keep
go,
pushing
man.
because it is possible. Listen, let me say this. So, a part of what I do, I make referrals out for things that people come to me that they tell me they need in their financial life. And I talk to a lot of black females in particular, because homelessness comes to us disproportionately more than other people. And you got this black woman, you got black children, and that affects the community.
Yeah,
And so they be like, well, I ain't ready. I ain't ready. And I tell them my own story because I remember when I first started looking for a house, y'all know I bought this house in January.
yep,
And when I first started looking for a house, I was like, I just want them to tell me what I need to do. I said, I know I'm going to be ready, in maybe the next 6 months to a year to buy a house. And I want to make sure, like, I wanted a conventional, forget that FHA, forget that. I wanted that real thing. And
Hmm.
so I was like, these are things I don't know how to get to. So I just went in with a HLA, a home lending advisor. And I was just like, well, could you pull my credit, take a look at some things, let me know what I need to do. I'm probably going to be looking to buy around, the summertime when my daughter would graduate, when my lease was ending in July. And so they were like, yeah, we'll take a look. Boom, boom, boom. She was like, so when you ready to buy? I'm like, buy what? Your house. I'm
Hmm.
like, well, I'm thinking like summertime, whatever. They were like, well, you're ready if you want to buy now. So it's like what you said. A lot of times it's just a matter of us not even having the courage to ask. If I had waited until the summertime and just been like, well, let me see, because I didn't think I was ready. I didn't even think I was ready to buy a house, and I was so over ready because, like you said, I was trying to get an 800 credit score and all that stuff. My lender was like, everything above a 740, we don't even. It makes no difference in your rate. I was like, what?
Hmm.
Wait, what? And it's like you said, it's all these little tips, it's all these little actionable steps that you can take. And you might be ready for more than what you think you are
Exactly. Yep.
just by putting yourself in the proximity of people that are doing it. So I want everyone to meet you all, especially over here on this channel, because we're building. We're building. So what's the next project? Where can people find you? Give me the socials. Give me the deets, the deal.
Well, listen, y'all. Before we even start dropping the handles and stuff, find out what your credit score is. You can get on, myannualcredit.com or do the Equifax free trial. You can get a free copy of your credit report. Since COVID, they give you like a free one every week. You can do that. Just find out where you are and start a business. Start a business. Start a
Start an
business.
LLC.
Start
Anybody
a
that wants to
LLC.
know.
yeah.
Can
Yeah,
anybody that wants to know how to do it, you can do it in 15 minutes. Just email me. I will show you and tell you for free.
it's not
This
hard.
this
Yeah, she will help you for free. We will help you for free. It's not hard at all. But do that so that you can utilize other people's money whenever you're ready, with your legitimate business now. so that you're not impacting your utilization and your DTI or debt to income when you are ready to buy a house. And then outside of that, the next thing we're working on, Quentin has real estate mobs, real estate master. The
Mm.
crew is the real estate mob, but where he does help with real estate investing. I'll let him talk a little bit about that because it's really important for people who want to get into investing. But the next big thing we're starting is the honeycomb home buying program. So we will be providing all types of tools and resources to help you become a first time home buyer. You do not have to be scared to hop on the phone or send an email to just find out where you are. We can help you find out where you are and what you need. You might be like Devian and you're ready to buy right now and you don't even know it. But you will never know if you don't take the step to finding out. So our goal is to make sure all of us own something so that we'll have something to pass down so that we can get to the next step and get out of this generational poverty because that's what we're known for right now and we want to
Yeah.
flip the narrative on that. So that's something we're working on
And
right
I
now.
do want to jump in too and say this because everything for me is sociological. And people always say that to me. It's like, well, all I'm worried about is myself. But the more of us that get out and we own property and we own land, people don't understand it was land owning whites that were the only people considered citizens in the beginning of this country. You couldn't just be white and be a citizen. You had to be land owning to participate in politics. When we complain about schools, when we complain about policing, when we complain about all of these different factors that oppress us as black people and own nothing, you might as well just shut up. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. So that's our next thing, and we just that I think that's going to be a game changer for everybody. Like we're really excited about it and we really want to see everyone own something. So we have a great lender on our team and real estate agent, credit repair specialist, all that good stuff. So don't worry about it. Judgment free because we started from the bottom
The
of the
bottom.
bottom, both of us. I mean
Bottom.
the bottom, so
Big B.
Listen, I was your first co-signer, so I
look,
already
I'm
know.
telling y'all, I couldn't get an apartment. I didn't know what credit was. I'm 20 years old with a baby trying to get a house or an apartment, actually, in a car.
Yeah, and it
And
had
she
me cussing you
co-signed with
out, talking about you better go in there and make that payment.
me. No, for real, don't be late. And I didn't. I didn't miss not one payment.
That one time.
That, yeah, but it's really important, y'all. So that's what we're working on. We're really excited about it. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm excited about the honeycomb home buying program. We got
Okay,
you.
well, how can people get in touch with you? What's the email? What's the website? What's the meet? What's the handle?
Huh? Give 'em that one.
yeah, because
The real estate masters on Instagram. And we gonna go from there. If they come through there, they tapped in with us.
Okay, okay.
Message
Well, you
talk to
heard it
us and
here.
this really real life, y'all.
yeah,
And if you really wanna like make a move forward, come through, holla at us. Because I'm very serious about what I do. I really take my time is very valuable. So I like to do things in it where I'm really helping someone else grow because I never know if that someone else will be the person that be able to help me grow even more, So if you just wanna, if you want to, if you're serious, just come on because that's all you really need starting out. You just gotta have the confidence of I can do this.
yeah. I
If
want to
you
do this.
I want to do this, I can do this, then we gonna do it.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
I
That's it.
got you.
Ain't nothing else to it.
Die gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it. I can do it with
Well, I'm gonna need you to do this outfit because
you.
listen, I done
But
already
you know
had
what?
this
You know what?
conversation.
It was the same thing about them blinds. I did
You
it.
did. You came through and
Hey,
you got like a whole like week's
don't
worth
play.
of work done in one day. So
Don't
I
play.
ain't
When
gonna
I
hate.
come,
But I'm saying,
when I come,
my plans are to make this investment property. So I'm gonna need some help. So
we gonna be
Yeah,
good.
we got it.
We gonna be good.
all right, because I'm gonna be over there in the honeycomb and stuff in a minute.
We finna hey, this honey. Hey, listen. Big plans. It's gonna be
For real.
good.
Yeah, I'm excited
It's
about
gonna
it.
be good. We get into building houses and everything, so it's gonna be fun, man. It's
And
gonna
I'm
be
excited about it too. I want to be a real estate master.
Yeah, come on.
Like you
We,
remember Enter the Dragon when she's like, looks like a master to me. So I appreciate y'all for coming. I
thank you,
appreciate you
bro.
for being here. Everyone, this is Quentin and Tamecia Die. You can find them on Instagram at the Real Estate Masters. This is just the beginning. We're gonna have you back. And for everyone that tuned in late, oh, Iris is here. Thank you,
Hey, mom.
Iris.
Hey, we see you,
I
baby.
know that's why we read it. We read it. So I appreciate y'all. We will be back. Make sure you like this live. Somebody liked it for you to be able to see it. So I need you to like it so that we can get this information around. You know, y'all are two young people that are doing something that we all can learn from and willing to be selfless. So let's make sure y'all be selfless and subscribe, like, share, click notification bells for notification of uploads. And when I go live, I will see y'all in the next one. Good night from Room 303, the Wireless Woman, and the Real Estate Masters. Thank y'all again for being here. Good night, y'all.